Good morning, everybody. We're going to get started in just another minute or two. You don't need anything, just a little bit of space so we can do this balance practice today. All right, you guys. We are going to go ahead and get started. Welcome to our little well-being break that we're having today. We are going to work on about a 20-minute balance practice for yoga. You don't need anything. You can see I'm in the office. I'm Carrie Davidson. I'm the Move Well Fitness Manager. I don't even have a mat. If you have one, that's great. It'll help to keep you from slipping and sliding around. But I invite you to practice with me this morning. And if it hurts, don't do it. That's our body's way of saying no thank you. So we're going to do a practice that allows us to do what we can do in the bodies that we're living in today. So we're going to start in our mountain pose. And I know that you can't see my feet right now. That's okay. Just put your ankle bones right underneath those two front hip points. So put the ankle bones right there. Let's go ahead and lift the toes and stretch the toes out. And then let's see if we can put our toes down one at a time, starting at the little toe. And all the way into the big toe. Good. We're keeping our knees soft. Okay, so we're not going to lock them out, but we're keeping the knees soft. Let the shoulders roll back and down. Bringing our hips, I'm going to turn to the side so you can see me here. We have this neutral, or at least hopefully neutral, fishbowl of a pelvis right here, our pelvic bowl. So let's find center. Sometimes we like to tilt it forward. Sometimes we like to tilt it back. So let's see if we can find a center place with soft knees. Let the shoulders come back and down. And when I say shoulders, I mean shoulder blades. Think about your shoulder blades on the back of your body. Let those come back and down. And then reaching the crown of the head up toward the sky. So we're going to start right here in mountain. Sending the roots down into the earth, creating some stability here. And if it's comfortable for you where you are right now, close the eyes or just turn the gaze downward so that our awareness can turn inward. And let's start by letting go of everything that we've come in contact with today. Whatever else is on our agenda, let it all go so that we can be present right here in this moment. Now that we're standing in our mountain and our awareness is here, we have arrived. Let's bring the awareness into the breath. Not changing the breath yet. Don't worry about what it's doing. Just notice how the air feels moving in and how the air feels moving out. Now that we've got that awareness, let's start to lengthen the inhale, breathing in through the nose. Let the inhale be big and fill up every available space. Exhale, slowing down the exhale, breathing all the air out, even that little bit of stale air that likes to stay in there. Let's push that on out. Inhale, we're filling up from the bottom to the top. So let the air come down into the lower ribs and the middle and then the top. Let the exhale come out in reverse. Inhale, push the air down, even filling up these side and back ribs. We can feel that all the way back in the back. Exhale, let all the air out. Calming breath. This is a practice, this big, deep, 3-part breath is a practice you can take with you throughout your day, your week, whatever, your life. It's a calming, centering breath practice. Let's do an equal ratio breath practice. So we're going to inhale and let that inhale last for 4 counts or 4 heartbeats. And then let the exhale last for 4. On your next inhale, let that last for 5 counts or 5 heartbeats. And the exhale lasts for 5. Again, let's inhale for 5. And exhale for 5. On your next breath, let's see if you can maybe do 6 if that feels comfortable. If not, stay with 5. 5 in, 5 out, or 6 in, 6 out. Good, and then we're going to come back just to our regular deep 3-part breath that we started with. On our next inhale, let's go ahead and let that right arm reach up and push that right foot down into the earth. Lifting up out of the hips, opening the ribs. On an exhale, releasing. On the next inhale, taking the left arm up, reaching up out of the hips, expanding the ribs, pushing our left foot down into the earth. Exhaling and releasing. Starting to flow back and forth on the rhythm of your own breath. We don't have to be together. Find your rhythm. Once you've done both sides equally balanced, let's take both arms all the way up on your inhale. On the exhale, hinging forward in super slow motion from the hips. So we're going to hinge at the hips, keep a nice neutral spine, softening the knees. Let the hands come down toward the earth. They don't have to touch, that's okay. They might rest somewhere along the legs. They might rest along the earth. We're going to release the head down. On an inhale, pushing through the feet, rising all the way up. And on an exhale, sitting back into chair. So put the weight in the heels, we're still able to wiggle the toes. Inhale, we're rising up. Exhale, we're coming down all the way, forward fold with a neutral spine. This time on our inhale, let's come halfway up to monkey pose, where we can lengthen from crown to tail. And then exhale, coming back down to self. Inhale, rising up. Exhaling, sitting back into chair. Again, inhaling, rising up. Exhaling, coming down. Inhaling, halfway up, monkey pose. Exhaling, down to self. Inhaling, rising up. Exhaling, sitting back in the chair. We're actually going to come all the way down to all fours. This is as low as we're going to be, don't worry. We're going to come down to that all fours position where our knees are directly under those hips and our wrists are directly under the shoulders. Spreading the fingers wide like starfish. On our inhale, let's let the belly drop down, opening heart and chest. On the exhale, rounding up, tucking the chin to the tailbone. Inhaling, opening heart and chest. Exhaling, rounding up. Starting to flow this cat-cow on the rhythm of your breath. The breath happens whether we make it happen or not. It's part of our autonomic nervous system. So let's flow with the rhythm. Let the body be breathed. On an exhale, let's come back into a neutral spine. And this time we are going to tuck our toes under, pressing our hips up into downward facing dog. So we have soft knees, we have strong hands, and we're pushing our sit bones away.
squeezing that belly up and in our downward facing dog. We can even press the heels in to the earth one at a time, bicycling the heels so the back of the legs are waking up. And then pressing both heels back and down. Now we're going to walk our feet forward into our hands. And then on an inhale, rising all the way up. Exhaling, sitting back in the chair. Good. Let's go ahead and stand wide this time. So we're going to widen our feet out, wider than our hips. Let our toes turn out to the outer corners of your room. And on your inhale, let the arms rise up. As we exhale, sinking down, reaching down toward the earth, coming right back up again on the inhale. So flowing your sunflowers on your breath, creating heat here, creating rhythm, finding the balance in the movement. So our feet are strong as they're connected down into the earth. Our hips stay below our heart. Our heart stays above our hips. On our next exhale, we're going to bring the hands right into heart center. And then heel toe, walk our feet back into that mountain pose so that our ankles are right underneath the hip bones. And that's right underneath the shoulders, and bringing the hands in. Let's take a moment to check back in with the body, check back in with the breath. Now we're going to find our core strength. First, by taking those two front hip points and drawing them in toward the belly button like you're cinching up a waistband or closing the elevator doors. So squeeze those deep belly muscles in. Draw the pelvic floor up toward the crown of the head. That is and then we breathe. The diaphragm moves up and down as we breathe. That is our deep core strength. So here, while we hold that deep core strong, let's shift our weight onto this right foot and bring the left foot up like a kickstand. So just our toe is touching the floor. If you feel balanced today, you might slide it up toward the calf. You might slide it up toward the groin. But we're going to keep our hands down at heart center for right now. So find a place where you can stay steady. Remember that we're holding in that deep belly, that we're bracing as though somebody were going to punch us in the gut. Hold that belly in strong. Now, wherever your foot is, let that foot be on a fleshy part. So not on the knee joint, not on the ankle joint, but on a muscle somewhere. The groin, the calf, a fleshy part. And then push the foot gently into that stabilizing leg. And we're going to let that stabilizing leg push gently back, creating dynamic tension here. We have to give and receive. We have to push and pull. We have to create that tension that's happening between the foot and the leg. Squeeze the belly strong. Let the shoulder blades drop back and down. Hold all of that. Keep that working. It's dynamic. It's active. And let's focus the gaze on one point directly in front of our eye level, right on the horizon for us, whatever that is for you. Holding strong through the legs, the belly, breathing. Let's go back to that 3-part breath while we're here. And now we're blocking out all the peripheral. Focus. One point right in front of your eyes and block everything else out of your vision. Be present with your body, your thoughts, your feelings, without judgment. This is simply information. Now, as we take our next inhale, Let's lift the arms to make whatever shape you want to make, but then also open up that peripheral vision. We're still focused. We still have our center, but we can now see these things are happening, but they don't distract us. They don't change our focus. They don't change our direction. Notice how the breath changes when we open up to the periphery. When we keep that dynamic tension through the legs and that strong core and that focus and the broadening out of our senses. On an exhale, let's bring the hands back down into heart center. We're going to bring the knee forward, disconnect it from the base leg. Our hips are parallel to the earth. All right, so one hip's not higher than the other. This leg is in space. We're holding strong, guys. We're holding strong here. Squeeze the belly in. Let the shoulder blades drop down. On an exhale, let it go with intention. And come back into our mountain pose. Our ankles under our hips under our shoulders under our ears. Close the eyes, or at least tune into the body. And then as we exhale, bring the hands right back to heart center. This time, shift the weight into the left leg. We're going to bring the right foot up to our tree, our balancing tree. So you can be any fleshy part, the calf, the groin, any fleshy part that feels like a good option for you on this side, and it might be different than the other side. That is okay. That is where we are today. So let's create that tension once more, pushing the foot into the leg and pushing the leg right back into the foot, creating some active movement, even though it's minute. Draw those hip points in. Strong core. Focus the gaze. Block the periphery. Now on our next inhale, as we widen the arms, we widen the breath, we widen our peripheral vision. We let the things of life come through, but we stay strong and centered and focused. Our tree has deep roots where the wind and things in life might make us sway and bend, but we don't break, we don't fall. Now on our exhale, we're going to bring the hands right back down once more. Bring the knee forward, disconnect the foot, hold the hips in, the belly strong. And then on the exhale, let it come right back down into no. Let's bring our eyes, either turning the gaze down or closing the eyes, turning inward once more. And do a quick body scan from the top of the head down to the feet. Noticing any points of tension, what might feel different, without judgment or change. Now on our next exhale, let's bring the hands into heart center. Namaste. Thank you for joining us today for our well-being break. I hope you have some skills and tools now in your toolbox. Have a great rest of your day.